Yes, finally.
Hi,
Finally, man.
we are here.
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm very okay. I'm very okay. I'm so happy and energized to have you on my show today. We made this decision like I think 2 days ago, or was it a day
Yeah,
ago? And
yeah.
yeah, we had to like push ourselves to make sure that it happens. So I know we've started late. Thank you, Mr. Great, Mr. 𝐿𝐿𝐒 for joining us. So because we started late, I'm just going to dive into the conversation so that we bring our viewers some value. So first of all, let me just introduce Mr. Anthony. So Mr. Anthony Muiruri is a motivational speaker and trainer whose passion is seeing you achieve your greatest dreams and aspirations. He loves to inspire young adults and grown-ups to live right and pure lives for themselves and the society at large. He has been invited in schools, colleges, churches, and to business events with great results from people who apply tips and advice shared in his speeches far and wide. My brother, welcome to my show again.
Thank you very much, Collins.
Yes. So, by the power of the power of internet, man. We met online, and you're in Greece, I'm in Kenya. So, the power of internet. What do you think about internet? What are some of the opportunities that you think it is giving us, especially as millennials, as young people?
Oh, this is quite a good time to be born in. It's such a great thing that today we can communicate from such a distance. And not only that, I remember when I was growing up, I was born in the age when things were not so fast. Like you had to send a letter, wait for 1 month for it to reach the other end, and then wait for another month for it to return to you so that you know what the other person is thinking and is saying to you. Now things are different. With just
Yeah,
a click of a mouse, we are there. And now we are
yeah,
connected. We are on a big distance, but we can communicate. Here we are.
yeah. Yes, that is great. That is great. So, man, like, I'm curious. Like, what were your aspirations like when you're growing up? Were you dreaming of becoming a motivational speaker, trainer, facilitator, or did you have different dreams? Growing up as a kid.
Now, when you're growing up, I was, first and foremost, let me start. I was born in central Kenya. That was Murang'a, to be specific.
Nice.
Although a very funny thing happened along the way. I remember that I was born in Murang'a, but I went to school sometime. That is after I had grown. I went to school at some point, and when I came back home, I was told, now we are no longer in Murang'a, we are in Thika. But we never moved. We are in the same place, but the boundaries had changed. So
Yeah.
uh, I was born in Murang'a, and that is where I was growing up in a small village back there, a place called Gatanga, if you know it.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, and I was in the neighborhood of one of the richest men in my time, the richest man in the country in my time. If you've
Mm-hmm.
ever heard of this name known as 𝐿𝐒𝐿𝐒,
Joe, Joe,
𝐿𝐒𝐿𝐒.
𝐂𝐏𝐈𝐒𝐿𝐒. Okay, I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
He was the richest. He used to have many buses back then that used to
Mm.
go to every corner of Kenya. He was the richest man, one of the richest men during that time. Uh,
Mm.
you may not know because you are a millennial, as I understand, but I was born back then. So as I was growing up in that village, I grew up normally like any other kid with all the limitations that you may have, like running to school every single morning, which is 5 kilometers away, barefoot. I mean,
Mm.
um, and what, because you asked about my aspirations, maybe one of my aspirations was to become like 𝐲𝐶/𝐈𝐒𝐻𝐾, to be a rich man and have many buses, many buildings.
Nice.
That could have been one of my biggest aspirations. So it could not have been to be a motivational speaker or a facilitator in that case, but just to be rich and be respectable in the village and in the town, like he was respected. So that could have been the desire that I had back then.
Nice, nice, and it's I think it's something that is mutual between us, because also for me, also growing up, you know, in most cases, we tend to dream to the level, or to the level where we are exposed, you know, to the level where we can see, or the level around us. And at times we don't know that we can do way more than what we see. That's why somebody will come from the village, come to Nairobi, you know, see all the opportunities, and they'll be like, if I'd known this, like even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I would have been, you know, in a better place. So I agree with you. For me, I was all into sports, so I knew like I'm going to be a professional basketball player. That was me. I knew like I'm going to be a professional basketball player, and I wasn't so good in school, but I was so good in basketball. So I put all my energy in basketball, believing that, you know, my way out was through basketball. So I understand that. But what I've come to learn also is, I don't know what you think about this, but you never know. You can't figure out everything right now. Like, you can't say, if somebody had told you like 20 years ago that on this day you'll be live with Collins in Kenya talking about potential, you'll be like, come on, and like, come on, me, like, come on, that can't happen. You understand? But I think as we're talking about potential, I think it's important for guys to understand that as you continue living life, you continue figuring things out. There's a lady called Maria Folio. She says that everything is figure outable. Like, as you continue living, you continue figuring things out, but you never like know everything. You know, at times people see us posting videos and they assume that we know everything. But the thing is, we don't know everything. The thing is, we are still learning. You know, we're still learning, and we're still trying to, you know, maximize our potential and be the best version of ourselves. So I agree totally with you on that point of, you know, you never know what you're going to be while you're still growing up, but you have aspirations. But the thing is, you just keep on living and you'll figure it out. Another thing that I'm interested in, man, how did you come from Kenya? And now you're in Greece? Like, what happened in between? What happened? Can you please tell us, man? How did you find yourself in Greece?
I will tell you. And I will start from where you just stopped, about not knowing about what is there tomorrow.
Yes.
Like, that was my dream when I was young, when I was back in the village. And I came out from the village, and I went and was good in art. So I thought I was going to be an architect. And as I was doing even my primary school final exam, someone asked me, what are you going to be? I said, I'm going to be an architect. But when I went again to the more on art, and instead of now developing architectural side, my architectural side of art, I developed my fine art side of me. So it changed from being the richest, being an architect, being an artist, and many other things evolved along the way. Now, you asked me how I ended up to be in Greece. Now, all these things, these dreams and aspirations are at the back of our mind. And when I was in school, I always dreamt to go to America, abroad. Abroad. To us, abroad is America.
Yes.
And at one point, just as I am growing and I'm doing my own things, I even started a family of my own. At one point, there came an opportunity to come to Greece. And I happen to be the youngest in the family of many brothers and sisters. So I went to one of my sisters, and I have very wonderful brothers and sisters. And I hope all the viewers who are watching are also having some wonderful families. They have wonderful brothers and sisters. So I went to one of my sisters, and I told her, excuse me, my sister, there is this opportunity for me to go abroad, to go to Greece, but I am kind of hesitant for one thing or the other. I don't know what to do. But you remember, I have always dreamt of going abroad.
Yes.
And so tell me, what do you think of it? And then this is what my sister told me. Now, watch here, Anthony. And she started a long story. Watch here. You know where we come from. We come from the village, and in the village there are some girls that we grew up with. We went to school with, and
Yes.
after we went to school with them, I got a job. Well, after I have left, I got a job in the town. And every time I go to the village, these friends of mine always told me, hey, we would like to go to town. We would like to come to town with you. We would like to come to town with you. Now, my sister told me this, look, we have grown up. We have families now. We have children. We are just about to be called grandmothers. And every time, even when I go back to town, I mean to the village, these ladies are telling me, when are we coming to town with you to come and work there? She would always tell them, come and join me. But this is the purpose of the story. Those dreams and aspirations that someone watching may be having, you may grow to become a grandmother and go out of this world without ever achieving. So my sister told me this: stop saying what you intend to do or your dreams are. Go and do what you are saying you want to do, and stop telling us that you want to go abroad. And so I took the opportunity, and I found myself in Greece, and this is where I am right now.
Nice. That is amazing, man. And at times, what I've come to learn, just from hearing your story, it is amazing. It is amazing when we become more aware of what is happening around us. And at times, if you go back, like right now, I normally say to anybody who thinks like us making videos is like a miracle. It's not a miracle. It's a matter of us at times, just being self-aware to the point where you can go back in your life, a story like that, a simple story like that, if you can share that instead of maybe posting an image of, I don't know, what you are eating for lunch. If you can share a story like that, and then, tell us the lesson or what you learned from that story, that one, I believe, is making an impact through social media. You understand? So just hearing your story, I'm like, that is a great story. That is a post. That is like a video, a great story with a great message. Stop saying or stop talking about what you're going to do. Just go outside and do it. Take the first step and see what happens after that. So I believe in that, man. That is really true. Understand? So as we continue, let me just say, Nims Nimo, thank you for joining us. Betty Mwaura, you're going to be the next one on this show. I bought her book like 2 days ago. Great book. Mr. Joel Kobia, thank you for tuning in. Shiruni, present, can't miss this. Thank you so much for joining us. So now, as we continue, I see Ocheng Odingo. Thank you for joining us. Muiruri. Hey, sawa. Thank you for joining us. And if you are learning anything from our conversation today, if you have any questions for our guest or for me, please leave them in the comment section below. And also, please tell us where you're watching from, okay? And if you need to invite somebody to watch this, please invite them, okay? Now, the next question for you, Mr. Anthony, is, I remember the first time I saw you was when you are making videos. I saw like you're making everyday videos. I was like, what is this guy doing? Who is this guy? So I went to your page and I found that you had already made like 98 videos. And then the next time I came back to your page, you are like at 198, and you are consistent. And that is something that I think is so important as we continue to work towards our potential. Being consistent, like being able to create. I don't know if people know what you're talking about. Just making one video is hectic. Being able to create 203 videos, my friend, that is consistency at the highest level. And each and every video had some great value. Setting goals, believing in yourself, all these videos. I was like, this guy is serious about his craft, is consistent, and I know you can tell us something about the importance of being consistent as we go after our potential.
I'll start with this story. But first, let me confess that at some point I have not been so consistent. In the recent few days, I have kind of gone into a lapse, which I would recover from very soon. Now, let me tell you the story. Today, I had to change a light bulb, a light handle somewhere. And I remembered, it's not something that we always do on a daily basis, but I remembered there is a shop where I had gone and bought some light fixtures for my house I think 7 years ago, and which is some let's say 3 kilometers from where I stay. Okay. So this is what I decided. I decided that I am going to go to that shop and go and buy that holder, that bulb holder. And in my mind, as I am going, I am thinking this to myself. There's a common statement that I've had that many businesses do not survive more than 5 years. You give when a business is starting, you give it some 3 years, it is gone. You give it some 5 years, it's gone. So I was asking myself, I'm going these 3 kilometers to go and buy a light bulb holder. What if I go and miss the shop? I get that the shop closed because it's some 7 years back that I ever bought such a thing. And to my luck, when I went and reached to the shop where I used to buy that holder, I got that the shop is still there and is still surviving.
Wow.
So I bought my bulb 7 years back, and I said, oh, this teaches us about consistency. You've just told me that you watched my videos when they were like 90 something, and you were not consistently on my page, and you came back and you discovered that I am over 100. I'm going to 200 videos. Now that's what we call consistency, being there, because you never know when that person is going to come back to you to check on you. If it is a dream you were chasing and you were going after your aspirations, but you gave up at some point, and you threw all that you are doing away, when that person comes back and gets you that you are not moving on in the same direction that you are moving on, you say, this man is not serious, so you give it up. And this is the reason why you got the courage to ask me to be in your show, because you have seen some consistency, you've seen some substance that has come out of it. So for those that are looking to achieve their full potential, there is something that we call consistency. You have to be consistent in whatever that is that you want to achieve.
Nice. And speaking about shops, there's a place here, I know you know it. You lived in Kenya, you lived in Nairobi even, I think you know it. There's some shops in Odeon. Yes, I do graphic design, so I'm well conversant with that area around Odeon, River Road, Koja, where we do printing and all these things. And
That's
I can say
familiar
that,
with me.
yes. And I can say when I started making these t-shirt designs, when I started selling them, I used to go to shops around that place to get t-shirts, capes, jumpers, and whatnot. And what I can say is there is a shop. There are like 3 shops, Indian shops. They've always been there. one sells plastics, bags, and all these things, plumber stuff.
Yeah.
Another one that sells paper bags and packaging and roll-up banners and all this stuff. And then there's another one that sells t-shirts, jumpers, and all these things, uniforms. They've been consistent. Like shops around there change. They change time, but those shops have been there for years and years and years. And what I've come to learn is, at times you'll go there, find an older guy. After maybe like during the holidays, you come and find some young guys managing the shop. Basically, these are their kids or their grandkids. So that's why it is consistent, and that's why I still go back there, because it's consistent. And I also think because when it comes to social media and our brand, and I hope that when I talk to Betty Mwaura, she's like a pro when it comes to branding and stuff. Also, Hannah, we talk about being consistent as a brand also, you understand? Like as a brand, like today you post about politics, leadership. The next day, you're talking about fashion. The next day, you're talking about food. So people can understand what you're really about. But if you're consistent, especially in your craft, in your purpose, then you have a higher chance of maximizing your potential and actually living into your potential. I feel like we'll never reach our fullest potential, but you can always strive to get better and better. So, with that being said, what is your definition of, potential? Like living up to your potential. Like, what is your definition?
Now, my definition of potential, I would say that there's that thing that you aspire to be. There is that, like, those dreams that we always have. Like in my case, there was a person who was the richest one of the richest in my country. And maybe those speakers that we know of, motivational speakers that are way high up, and maybe living to help as many people that like you can help, because now let me go back. I'm a Christian, and we know the creation story, and when God created us, he created us in his own likeness, and he gave us a potential that is so high we cannot even imagine how high it is. He gave us the power even to create things from the basic stuff that he provided unto us. He gave us the authority over all the all the animals, all the land, everything that on the earth that he created. He gave us the authority to be to take authority in that. So, and this potential, very few people live to their fullest. Very few people. And I want you to imagine this, that right here, right in front of us, we have something that has been achieved by someone who is living to his potential. These mobile phones and these computers.
Yes.
And I want you to imagine that the computer that you see is so complex. It's someone who thought about it, who put all the details into place, all the transistors, all the, you may have a clue of how they come to be. All the plastics, this is a thought of someone, someone with potential. Now, if the creator of the computer used his potential and created this computer that how much more can you do? How much more potential do you have up there?
Unlimited.
Unlimited potential. So I would say that the potential is that aspect of it's the success that you can achieve. But I like here to define success from one famous man known as 𝐿 Nightingale. He said that success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. So when we are talking of the success, we are not talking of a place, we are not talking of a destination, we are talking of a day-to-day continued action towards achieving something worthwhile in your life.
That is true, man. That is true. And it is funny. I believe in the law of attraction that, you know, like whatever we think about, whatever we focus on and put in some energy and action to, we attract into our lives. And at times, that's why at times you'll think about someone and they call you or they text you because we are all interconnected. So when you're talking about Nightingale, it's funny because I was actually listening to his, you know, the famous book, The Greatest Secret. I was just listening to it. Yes, I was listening to it today in the morning, and you're talking about it right now. So it's like, you know what, we were supposed to have this session. That is like a sign we were connected at that time. And I believe what you're saying. And you know, for me, potential, even that's why I talk about, my slogan is shifting mindsets and raising potential, because I don't feel like you can ever like really reach the peak of our potential, but you can always strive. You know, we can always strive to be better and better each and every day. Go for a bigger goal each and every day. You know, just better yourself slowly by slowly. And by doing that, that is living a life. It's not like you're going for some destination and then when you get there, like, whoa, I made it. I can't ball. I can't chill. It's not like that. It's a matter of, okay, I've made it this far. Where can I go past this? I've overcome this obstacle. Where else can I see myself? What else can I do? And by doing that, you're becoming better and better, and also maximizing your potential in the present, you know, where you are in the present. So you are becoming better and better, and you're improving. And the good thing about that, what I've come to learn is, you know, like when you go after your potential, when you are maximizing your potential, you have to know that you're not just impacting your life, but you're impacting anybody else who's around you. There's some people who, I mean, who laughed at me when I started making videos. There's some guys used to say, it's like I was smoking weed. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do any of those things. But when I started, picking up steam, I was getting better and better. I even ended up winning an award. They even forgot that they were saying that I was smoking weed. They were the first people to come and tell me, I like what you're doing. You know, it's amazing. It's great. Keep on doing it. Why? Because I was consistent, but because I was getting better and better. So when you start at times, you know, there's something you want to do in your life. There's something you're striving for, and you feel like you don't know maybe where to start. The question is very simple. What do you have around you, and what can you start doing right now? Even just making a call, writing an article, you know, writing the first page, talking to somebody. Start doing that, and then as you continue learning, you continue improving, and you continue expanding your boundaries and your potential. You continue growing and growing. There's this thing about developing a growth mindset. Like just have a learner's mindset. Like, I don't know everything right now, but I can learn. You know, I don't know everything right now, but I can learn, and I'm willing to learn, and I'm willing to put in the work to learn and to get better. Some people ask me, how do you make videos? Like, there's nothing. Like, I just take my camera, my light, my microphone, and I speak. You understand? I don't care if you feel like it's not perfect, it's not like the highest quality. No, I'm just expressing my thoughts and my ideas, and by doing that, I've gotten better and better. But if I was waiting for everything to be okay, we wouldn't be right here right now. And the next thing I want us to talk about is basically, is like we've touched around it, but the idea of trusting the process. I know for you to get where you are right now, you have, you know, put in the work, you've worked hard, you've faced some obstacles, But I wanted you to share your thoughts around trusting the process. Like, yes, you want to live up to your potential, but you have to trust the process. So I don't know, how has it been for you, you know, when it comes to trusting the process and pushing yourself?
Now, it's interesting that we who have changed the transition of the millennium, we are living in the microwave generation, if I may call it that. The microwave generation is whereby I have a plate of food, I put it there for 2 minutes and it's ready. We have instant coffee, we have everything. I mean, even that we said something that is positive, instant messaging, instant emailing, and all this kind of broadcasting video. When we were growing up, it was a time of, if you were looking to have a session like this, you are dreaming of being in the television, which only happened to start up broadcasting 5 p.m. in the evening and close at 12 midnight. Now things have changed such that now things are quick. And this is somehow, if I may say, it spoiled the mind of people. I mean, they want things very quick. Many of us want things very quick. We want it on an instant, and we forget there is a process. There's a process for each and everything. And God had a reason of making everything have a process. God had a reason of taking a seed and making us plant it on the ground and wait for some days, wait for some years for it to mature and produce some fruit. It's going to take some years. Now, if he had, in his infinite wisdom, if he saw that this is the right thing to happen, then who are we to rush things so fast? And especially those things that need time to grow. Like, I give this example of Joseph in the Bible, who had a dream. And everybody around him were not so happy that he's having a dream. And that dream could materialize in one day because he believes in God, the creator of everything, who works miracles, but it had to go through a process in a situation that he did not very much like. He's going to be sold as a slave. So you can ask yourself, I have this big dream. Why should I be a slave? And you know the whole story of how he went even to jail, and even from jail now he becomes the principal of Egypt. You know this story. Now, when we hear stories of that, we have to remember that there is a process in everything. To achieve something significant, to achieve our dreams, there is that process that we should be comfortable with. Even though things are rushing these days, but we should be comfortable with the process and be ready to, in us being consistent in whatever we are doing, we also be patient to achieve what is set for us. One preacher put it this way, way back when I was growing up, but it has stuck to our mind. It's a 3P, and I can't remember, he called it a 3P message. It was a 3P message. There is the promise, there is the process, and then there is the provision. Most of us want the promise and the provision. You promised me to give it to me. And they skip the process. The process has to be there. So if there's a promise for you, be ready to work, be ready to go through the process, be ready to go some things that you may not like, but remembering that there's a promise that you have to be provided at the end of it all.
That is true. You know, you've brought an amazing concept that I'm actually working on. You see, like right now, we are going towards our 𝐾CSE, 𝐾CP, and I remember when I was in school, and this is something that I said I'll be talking about when I go to schools. Actually, the more opportunities I get, there's this thing about the school's mean score. Like I remember when you get to Form 4, the thing that is written, I don't know if it still happens, but the thing that was written on the blackboard was last year's mean score and our target this year.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, for me, by the way, I never saw any sense of beating the previous year's mean score, because that mean score will not help me personally, it will help the school. And I feel like the best way to beat last year's mean score is to help the students improve in their studies, work hard in their studies, work smart in such a way that, first of all, make sure the kids have their own promise, just the way you've said. Let them have their own promise. That is their own goal, their own personal goals, not the school's goals, their own personal goals. And then, as a school, help them set high goals, and then also help them put in the work, like help them with the process. Because this is what I believe. If the promise is clear, the process is automatic. But if the promise is not clear, my friend, you are like 50-50. You won't put in the work. So if you are telling me to work hard just to beat last year's mean score, it's like you're but if I'm sorry for that, but if I'm working towards you know, my own promise, then it becomes easy for me to put in the work. There's somebody trying to call me, man, at this time. But because of that, we are able to, if you're able to understand, if the promise is clear, I mean, then you can do it. So
on high demand.
Yes. With that being said, I think it's good for us to talk about that, especially when it comes to our educational system, our schools. If you're able to show them the promise, then the process will be easy. They'll understand why is it important for me to work hard in my studies. If you, for example, my mom told me, if you want a basketball scholarship after high school, then you have to work hard on your studies, because you can't get that scholarship if you don't work hard on your studies, if you don't pass. And because of that, I was able to go back to school, put in the work, and was able to get that scholarship because the promise was clear. You see, the promise was clear. Now, in basketball, we have something known as fundamentals or basics or the foundation of basketball. I feel like in our generation right now, as we've talked about just a few seconds ago, people want things very quickly. You understand? Without setting like a good foundation. So the same way in basketball, like in basketball, you have to have the right fundamentals, the best skills are developed from the right fundamentals. And if you have that, you have a solid foundation, then you can have a great career as a basketball player. Understand? So when it comes to potential, I think it's the same thing. And maybe you can tell us from your own experience, maybe is how important it is for us to focus on the fundamentals, for us to focus on the basics.
Yeah, you know, there are those basic things that we were taught when we were growing, the right things that we should do. We are taught about honesty and all the principles and virtues that were implanted in us by our parents. When the minute that we are going to lose those basics that we were told to have, that were implanted in us, then we may lose track. And I was hearing of one coach that was was invited to coach. Was it LeBron? I think LeBron. He's a basketball player.
LeBron James.
Yeah, something. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not so keen follower of basketball right now, although I used to follow it some time back.
Yes.
Yeah, but that name is familiar. So he went. He was a new coach, and they had talked with him of how they are going to practice the following day, and they agreed that they are going to meet at 4 o'clock in the morning. So the coach said, I'm going to beat him in his own game. So the coach set his watch at 3 o'clock. So he was in the gym at 3:30, only to go and find LeBron jogging around. Jogging around, just a normal jog and doing just stretching about. I mean, and then he was he did not beat him in his own game because he sticks to the basics, jog around, warm up before the real training, warm up. But as we want to go right into the game, there is a game. Oh, you are in the NBA, or you come from home and you go right into the game without warming up. The basics have to be there. And then when he asked him, he said, if I don't do the basics, I'm gonna lose. If I don't stick to the basics, even the hard ones, I'm not gonna be able to deal with, and I have to stick to them all my life.
Yes. That is true, man. That is 100% true, and I agree with you. That is an amazing story, man. That is true. He thought he's going to beat him on his own game, but LeBron was like, "I'm ready for you. You're going to find me in the gym," and that is why he's like one of the greatest players of all time right now. Because of that, understanding the importance of fundamentals. And guys who follow basketball, by the way, look at LeBron like some prodigy, like somebody who was just blessed. But if you look back, that's why I normally tell young kids, go and listen to their interviews. You can watch the highlights, but you're just watching the results of what they are doing behind the scenes. But if you're able to listen to these guys in their interviews, like you even respect them more. You listen about how they work hard. You listen about how their mentality, when the game is on the line, when they face obstacles, when everybody is, talking badly about them on social media because of maybe missing a shot or something like that. If you understand that, you'll be able to embrace fundamentals. That's why I love Michael Jordan. Because the first time I saw a video of Michael Jordan was a documentary. I still have them to this day. At times when I feel like I want something to boost me up, I don't go and watch his games. I go back and watch his documentaries, his interviews. You understand? And you hear about his mentality, how you should instill some fear in your opponents, by doing such things. I mean, we are a team, and I remember when I was in campus, our basketball team was so good, there was so much competition that you will wake up at 5 in the morning, you go to the hill to run, and you find guys finishing. You're like, Connie, these guys, you guys came here at what time? At 3 a.m. So it was that competitive. Like, you understand? Like, the only way you get that kind of mindset is by listening to other great people, listening to their interviews. Forget about the basketball. Listen to their mind, and then follow that, and you'll also become great. And you'll understand, basics are important. Like, there's nowhere you can go without basics. At times, I'll still play basketball, I still train. At times, I'll be shooting, and I'll realize, I'm missing because my elbow is maybe facing outside, is on the outside a little bit. I know that because I trained the fundamentals, and now I'm able to adjust, and I'm able to make that shot. So that is so true. That is a great example. You just talked about basketball, and I was like pumped up. Ideas started coming to my mind. So that is true, man. That is true. Now, you've worked with so many youths, I believe. I've seen some of your videos online. What is the one thing maybe general thing that you think is holding us back as millennials from, like maximizing our potential?
There could be several things that hold us back. Thank you for the question anyway. It's a great question because it's something that is holding so many people.
Yeah.
There could be so many things holding the millennials back, and not only the millennials, but anybody who is striving, who has some dreams that he wants to achieve, but is not achieving. But all those, maybe I could sum them up with just one word, which is fear.
Ooh, that is true. Man, that is true, man.
I mean, you could fear. You could fear that you're not enough. You could fear of how, like, let's say this. These are videos that we are making, and you told us of how some of your friends laughed at you. It's the same way here. I am making videos. I do whatever I do, but someone could fear what my friends say when they see me making videos. What will they say when they see me doing some interviews? And I could not be as perfect as Riley King or Oprah Winfrey. No, we could not be anywhere near there. So why do we do them? And why? I mean, this is what the person could be asking himself. What if they laugh at me because I'm not as perfect as Riley King or Oprah Winfrey or any other interviewer up there? What if they judge me? What am I going to become when I'm walking there on the road and they start laughing at me? So fear happens to be, and there are many examples, very, very many examples that we could give on the fear that prevents people from achieving their full potential. That could be the greatest word that I could say there. It's not your brother who is preventing you. It's not the government. It's not the school system that is preventing you from achieving your dreams or going to your full potential. No. It's not the work system. It's not your boss. It's the fear. Fear is the main thing. Yeah.
That is true, man. And I can attest to that, man. At times, even right now, making these videos and all this, I still have some fear in me. At times, there's some things I want to do, but there's that fear, holding me back. Even when you told me that, you know what, let us do this interview this Thursday. At one point, I was like, am I ready? I have so much on my plate, where I work right now, we're preparing for graduation. So as a graphic designer, there's so much work. I was like, will I be able to pull it off? And then I was like, you know what? That is fear talking. If I just plan myself, there's some things I know I can push to next week, or I can push to Friday or Saturday because we have a long weekend. And I can put in more time so that we make sure that this video or this session comes to manifestation. It happens. So fear is a huge one. And I agree with you, like, totally. What people will say, what will people think about me? How will I feel? Will I be accepted? Will people celebrate me? Will I get likes? Will I get views? My friend, nobody cares, man. Like, just do you. Be yourself. Do whatever you have to do without thinking about what other people will think. Because, as long as you're not disrespecting anybody, you're expressing yourself. And once you put your content or your art or whatever you're doing outside to the world, what you have to understand is that it's no longer your property. It's their property. And they'll decide what they're going to do with it. So, like, why fear? You just put out the content. At times, somebody will give you like a constructive criticism that will help you even become better at that thing that you're doing. But you will never get that constructive criticism or that push if you leave behind your fear. You understand? I see here Mr. 𝐿𝐻𝐿𝐒 saying, great stuff. Fear is the #1 obstacle to progress. And that is true, man. Like, if you just
true.
if you just start talking about fear, I think you can even spend another 2 hours, you know, fear and self-doubt. I even made a video, 2-part series about, you know, overcoming these self-limiting beliefs and rewriting our story. So if you want, if anybody of you is tuning in right now, who's watching this video, you can go on YouTube, you'll find them there, or even on my profile, just scroll down on the videos, you'll get those 2 videos, okay? I think they're in 3 parts because at some point I lost the internet, but they are there and they can help you. Now,
can I ask you a question? Please,
yes,
before
yes.
we go to the next, before we get to your next question, can I ask you a question? Just, I don't know where this is gonna end, but let me ask you this question. You said that you had been watching my videos, maybe not all of them, but I want to ask you this question because I have a reason for asking it. What is the video that you can remember? One of the videos that you can remember. Tell me.
Okay, I've watched a number of them.
Not the number, the subject that was being discussed, or anything that happened in the video.
How do you measure, or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes, where you're talking about, like, how do you measure in terms of your goals? Like, where have you, like, when you look at yourself,
yeah,
to what level? I can say, like, can you like measure your progress? To what level are you at when it comes to that thing that you want? Something like that. I remember because you're also using like a tape measure. It was a while ago, but I remember that one. That one I can remember.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Yeah, that one was there, and several others that I had made. But I have some people, and I agree. You are a very busy person. You have a full-time job, as I can understand. So you may not get to watch all of them, and not everybody gets to watch all of that you do. But the reason I asked you this question is because I have people who say, who had by that time that I was doing every single day, who said, I never miss one of your videos, not even one. And then not one person, 2 people, 3 people, even recently, like 2 days ago, there's someone who asked me about this video. Maybe you missed it, I don't know. And he asked me, Anthony, when are you going to make another video like that one of the Coca-Cola?
Nice.
Let me tell you what happened in that video. if you didn't get to watch it, I had seen someone do it and said, "Oh, this is a good example." So I was to shake 2 bottles of Coca-Cola and immediately open one. And when I opened that one immediately that had been shaken, the Coca-Cola blew all over. Some even split on me and some on the computer. So there was a total mess because of that experiment I was doing. There was a great message behind it. You can go and watch it. But this is what I'm driving at. People, very many people remember that video. And like the person, there is a specific suggestion someone suggested me to make a video on like 2 days ago. But what he said is that make it like you made that one of a Coca-Cola. But that was a mess. I mean, this is what I'm driving at. This is what I'm driving at on the subject of fear. Those things that you fear, the mess that you fear that you can make, and that could be the greatest inspiration that someone is waiting for out there.
Yes, that is true.
That was a mess, but that is someone is even suggesting me to make a video for him with and he's telling me the subject, but what he's referring me to is the video that I made a mess on. Make me like that one of the Coca-Cola. So don't fear. Hey viewers, don't fear. Do it. Just do it.
Just do it, man. Just do it. And there's this thing about, look at the videos that trend online.
Yeah.
They're not like so polished or anything. These videos that you see on WhatsApp, or they're very funny videos, blurry, they're not clear. People have just placed their phones on top of the video. There's no like good transitions, there's no introduction, and like they're just simple videos, and people connect with these videos more. Here's the thing, don't wait to be perfect. Just use your phone there, sit wherever you are, speak, talk, whatever, share whatever you want to share. And the funny thing about your video is your mess had a message. Understand?
Yeah.
And that's why it connected with so many people. And people like that. You see, when you're so perfect, people can tell. People can tell. That's why live videos are getting more views or are working better, because we did not prepare for this. Me, I wanted this to be a conversation. We talk as the ideas come. It's like we met at a coffee shop and we started talking. Understand?
Yeah.
And people connect with that. So I agree with that, man. And thank you for bringing that up. And I think I'll look for that video and I'll link it up on the comment section of this video so that people can go and watch it. I'll also go and watch it. Now it's like I want to watch it. I think I'll even watch it after this session. Now, where was I? The next question that I have for you, Mr. Anthony, is for us to achieve our goals, we must set, for us to achieve our highest potential, we must set goals. I believe we must work with goals. So I don't know if you have like a simple, or maybe you have an idea that you can share with our viewers on how you set goals in such a way that you're able to achieve them.
Actually, I would say that for us to achieve our greatest potential, for us to reach our highest potential, this is where it starts. It starts by identifying those things that we are good at. There's no way that you can pursue to be an artist if you discover that you didn't have a talent in art. I know that you discovered you have a talent in art, and that is why you chose to pursue that.
Yeah.
I know that you discovered that you can bounce the ball better than I can do, and that is why you chose to follow basketball. By the way, I used to love basketball so much when I was in high school. But I'm afraid I couldn't qualify even to go to the ladies' team because I was poor.
Yeah.
I was poor.
That is bad, my friend. Let me just tell you, like a friend, that is bad. Like, you have to do something next time.
So, for you to achieve your greatest potential, to do the best that you can do, you'll have to find out first where it is that you're good at. And I will say this to the viewers out there. You start by doing something we call a SWOT analysis. SWOT analysis, SWOT, is whereby you go inside, deep inside of you, and try to discover that thing that you're weak, you're strong on. That is the S. Find out your strengths. Any gifts you have, any talents that you have. That is, discover them. Discover what you're good at. Then find out your weaknesses. That is the W, weaknesses, so that you can work on them. And if there are things that you can avoid them so that you may achieve your potential. Then try to discover the opportunities that are out there where you can develop your strengths, the opportunities. That is the O. The opportunities that are available for you. The opportunities for you to even go to be at the NBA, identify them or anything like that. Then identify the threats. What are the threats that are threatening you from achieving that thing that you want to achieve? So that's the SWOT analysis. Look at your strengths, your opportunities, your threats. The threats. Identify the threats that could prevent you from achieving your dreams. Apart from the fear that we mentioned, the outside forces that could play a part in preventing you from achieving your own dreams. So do a good SWOT analysis. And then after you do that analysis of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, then it's from there that you set your goals. And setting your goals, make them SMART. This is another acronym. SMART, S-M-A-R-T, another acronym. And I'm going to go deep into this about setting SMART goals so that you may live to your fullest potential. And the S is you have to be specific. I mean, because you know your strengths and you know the opportunities that are existing there that you want to achieve. I mean, you want to take advantage of in order that you may implement whatever it is that you are good at. So let that goal be specific. I want to go into this place from here. Like if we take a Google map and I want to go to a point B from point A, I have to be specific that I want to go to point B and identify that is the specific. You can't come from home that you're going just round and round without a purpose, without where you're going. If you're you are in Nairobi, you want to go to Thika or you want to go to Kisumu, you must identify. You must have a specific goal. That's the S. Then we go to M, which is measurable. Your goals must be measurable. And by measurable, we mean, if I put the example, that I take that example of going from point A to B, going from Nairobi to Thika, how far is it? How far is it from Nairobi to the next town that you want to go to? Such that when you start moving, you can identify, I have achieved this distance and I have this distance to cover. So they must be measurable, your goals, not just give a figure out there that is out of the blues and expect to achieve something that you don't know. You cannot go to a place that you do not know. So, and you have to know how you're going. So S, M, and A, attainable. I wanted to be as rich as 𝐂𝐿𝐒 with 60 buses, but at my age in primary school, I could not attain that thing at that time. I could not have the 60 buses and over 60 buses moving around at that time. So I could not, I haven't even earned 1 shilling and I start talking about 1 million.
That is a huge mistake,
So they have to be attainable. You have to S-M-A, attainable.
R.
And they have to be realistic. R, that is the R, realistic.
Realistic.
Realistic. And at this point, we will leave it to the owner's discretion of what is realistic to them. Because to us, it's not realistic to run a marathon in under 2 hours.
You're gonna die, my friend. You're gonna die. You're not Kipchoge.
But to Kipchoge, it's realistic to him.
He prepared for that.
Yeah, so it's to you. What is realistic to you? Yes, you have some specific, measurable, and attainable goal that is realistic to you. You know what is realistic. And then we come to the last letter, which is T. On setting SMART goals, S-M-A-R and T, they have to be time-based. Your goal has to be time-based. You can say I want to make 1 million and just because this is the danger. If you don't have a time limit for your goal, you may just sit there saying, I'm gonna have 1 million. 1 year goes, 2 years, 10 years goes, 20 years, and you're doing There's no time limit. But if you
Yeah.
say from today up until 5 years, I want to have made 1 million, then that one will wake your mind up and you'll start doing the things that you should be doing when you should be doing them.
Yes, yes.
So that's the way of I'm giving the viewers when they want to achieve some or to live to their full potential, after they know what their potential is, then they should set some smart goals and go and work it out.
That is true, man. And just to emphasize on that point of time, I think this will be helpful. There is, I think there are monks. I heard this while I was listening to some videos and stuff. And this guy talked about the fact that there is a culture that like inspires, or what term can I use? Not inspires. There's a culture that pushes the idea of you thinking about your death each and every morning. Like you thinking about your death each and every morning, because it's the thing. You're here today, you're gone today. Basically, what they're trying to say is value life, value time. Time is gold. So even when it comes to setting our goals, it has to have like a deadline. You understand? Because you're not here forever, and the excitement of setting a goal with a deadline is that will motivate you. That will keep you going. It's like you are. It's like you are keeping yourself in check, because you know I only have these 2 hours to create this video. I only have two months to finish this website. I only have 3 months to complete this course. And by doing that, it will help you to like stay motivated, keep your focus, and remembering that you are here today and you are gone today. If you think about that each and every morning, like this might be the day, man. Like I feel like if you are at peace with your death, then you can live your life at your fullest potential. Understand? It's like yeah, it's like you understand. Oh, that is part of life. So there's no need for me to worry so much about that. What I should do is use the time that I have. And even when it comes to setting goals, that last part, man, that is true, man. And I truly believe. You wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was saying whatever exactly that you are saying. I'm in agreement about you never know about tomorrow. And I remember this wonderful leadership coach, I would call him coach, leadership speaker that used to. He's written several books. I don't know whether you've read them or whether you listen to his, and I believe you do listen to some of his teachings that he used to teach. He's no longer there. He passed away some time back with a plane crash. His name was Miles Monroe.
Yes. That is my guy.
And he always said this, that I know where the richest place on this planet is. It's in the graveyard.
Yes.
It's in the graveyard because so many people died with all the dreams that they had. Some died with all the biggest mansions they could have built. Some died with the best applications they could have designed and made billions and millions, but they did not do it. They went to the grave together. So that is where all the wealth is. So it's a matter of remembering that your time here on this planet is very limited.
That is,
I agree with you.
Yes, I also agree like 120% on that point. So, you know, for us to get to this place where we are right now, being able to share our thoughts, our ideas, you know, some of these wisdom bites that we've learned from other people, it's clear that we listen to podcasts, we've read books or articles or watched videos, and I wanted to ask if you can recommend maybe 3 or 4 books that you believe if somebody got a hold of them right now and started reading, it could help them understand their potential more, or like maximize their potential, or just become better people. So maybe if you have like 3 or 4 books that you can recommend to our viewers, please do.
That's a good question. And I have so many that I could recommend. I had so many that I could recommend. But first and foremost, I'm going to start with the greatest book ever written, which is the Bible. I have discovered from even many of the greatest motivational speakers that we know, transformational speakers, even some of the greatest books that we could mention, they get the idea from the Bible. Like, talk of that little book that you said that you've read. And I also, okay, I think I heard this from one of your interviews that you had done there. It's a great book. I love that book. It's a very great book, but very small. And I recommend the leader, who is the listener, to go and buy that book as quickly as possible if you have not read it. It's very small. It's called As a Man Thinketh. It's a masterpiece.
Ooh, masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece because it talks about your brain being like a garden, and if you cultivate your garden, you're going to harvest that thing that you want. But if you don't cultivate your garden, you're going to get weeds growing, and you cannot control how the weeds are going to. And if you planted something there, the weeds are going to choke it up. So you better take care of how you think. As a Man Thinketh is a very great book.
Let me fact, I'm posting the image on the comment section as you speak. Just continue.
Yeah. No, As a Man Thinketh, that's from the book of Proverbs. That's Proverbs 23, verse number 7. So let's go back to the Bible.
I thought you were talking. I thought you were talking about the book.
I am talking. Yes, I'm talking about the book. But I said we'll still go back to the Bible because that's where most of the people take their ideas from. So As a Man Thinketh is a verse number 23, Proverbs 23, verse 7, that they brought a very great book out of it. As a man thinketh, so is he.
Yes.
So you can post that image so that the person can know about the book and can go and buy the book, because it just expounds on from this verse. As a man thinketh, it expounds and it tells you in a clear way why you should take care of your thoughts.
Yes, by James Allen.
By James Allen, yeah. As a Man Thinketh.
Yeah.
We also have one of the greatest books that I read as a youth. One of could be the first self-help group book that I read that really influenced my mind and influenced me as I was growing up. It was written by one minister. Thank you, Rachel, for tuning in and also
yes.
Yeah, so it's a wonderful book that I recommend to many people. It's called The Power of Positive Thinking.
Oh, yes.
By Norman Vincent Peale.
I've read it.
And this book is very necessary in today's world, because every place that you turn to, people are thinking negative.
That is true.
People are even thinking negative of you as we are doing this live show.
Yes, that is true. Like, what is this guy doing? Who does he think he is? I understand, but it's true.
What are they trying to do? I mean, that's and it has influenced me, because at every occurrence of things are happening in my life, I'm always trying to find out what is the positive thing in this thing that is happening, no matter how dangerous that thing is. Even like last year, I had an accident and I broke my hand, but even in that accident, I was able to look at the positive in every positive message that was there. And so you asked me to recommend books. The Power of Positive Thinking by by Norman Vincent Peale.
I've already posted those two.
Recommend another one, The Magic of Thinking Big
Yes. Woo-hoo-hoo.
by
I
David
know.
Schwartz.
I've read that one too.
By David Schwartz.
Yes, the magic of thinking
Thinking
big.
Big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about fear, and there's a danger that we are always tempted to think so small. We limit ourselves so much.
Yes, yes.
We limit ourselves so much, and even to Christians, uh, we fear achieving great things because we forget that we are serving a great God. We are serving a big God.
Yes, yes, that is true, and especially, man, there's this thing that is happening. I don't know about Greece, but in Kenya,
Mhm.
there's something that I'm not happy about, but it is happening. There are so many churches that are coming up.
Yeah.
Like there's so many. Every corner you turn to, it's like now a business. And
Mhm.
it's sad because some people expect that their pastor is going to change their lives.
Mhm.
That Ntumishi is going to. We have some funny guys here who are they're even abusing guys, and you see the church is still full. It's like guys are brainwashed. You're like, do you know that if me, this is what I believe. If Anthony is our pastor and he can communicate with God, or he can follow God's command, or God can guide him, he can do the same for me. For me, when I go to church, I go to get inspired, I go to get connected. I love that vibe, that energy of people coming together, singing, praising the Lord. That's what I go for. But at no one point am I expecting the person standing on the pulpit to directly change my life. Like you can share a message that I will go and apply in my life, and then something will change or it will make it better. But it is so sad that people think so small of themselves that they can't
Mhm.
even imagine, them doing something big without going through like somebody that you perceive to be like, more righteous than us. So I think,
Yeah.
like reading that book, it can open our minds and help us think big and realize our full potential, because you understand it's all a matter of how we see ourselves from inside and from our mind.
Thank you very much. That's a very good insight. And even though that being a story for another day, I fully agree with you. But I will tell the
Mm.
viewer this. When Jesus came, the curtain was torn apart and you have
Mm.
access to God. And I'm saying this as a person who also preaches.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
But my standing here should not prevent you from talking to your God. But that's a topic for another day. We were just sharing about the books that can help you to reach to your full potential, to exploit your full potential. Be whom God created you to be. He
Yeah.
created you to be His own likeness and become something out of your life. So
Mm.
live that life. And so far, I have suggested 3 books. I'm not going to suggest a fourth one. I will give this poem to someone who is listening out there
Mhm,
as a in place of the fourth book, because you asked me to
mhm.
suggest some 4 books. I have
Yes.
so many that I can suggest. But in this part of the fourth one, this is the poem, and I know we are almost getting over the show, but this is the poem that I would like to leave with someone out there. It's a poem
Mhm.
by one guy called Edgar A. Guest. It's a poem that has really influenced my life also, as I read it when I was immediately out of high school and into college. And up to this day, it still comes back to me. It comes to me back to me when I see that Nelson Mandela was the greatest man around the world, not only in Africa. It comes to me when I see Barack Obama, the person with the blood from Kenya, is achieving that. It comes to me when I see Eliud Kipchoge run across the finish line and make some people shed tears because of what he achieved. It comes to me every single time that I see someone has achieved something significant. And I remember that me and you have the same potential and we can achieve things that we want to achieve. The poem is called Equipment. And one verse goes like this. I could share the rest of the stanzas once we are through. I can post it on the comment section.
Yeah.
This is how it goes. It says, figure it out for yourself, my lad. You've all that the greatest of men have had. 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 eyes, and a mind to use if you would be wise. With this equipment, they all began. So start for the top and say, I can.
Nice, nice. I'm going to read that poem. I have to post it on the comment section after this. That is great. That is good,
Yeah.
and it is true, and it's a great title. I think I've had it. I think I had it years ago. I think I've had it somewhere, especially when you say 2 eyes, 2 arms. I think I've had it somewhere, but post it in the comment section, and we're going to make sure that we go through it and internalize it. Now,
I'll post it right now.
yes, please do. Now,
Yes.
as we come to a close, I want to say, I just want to honor you and say thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We've spent like over 1 hour, 30 minutes, offering value, discussing. And I just want to say, yes, I've seen you've already posted it. So I just want to say thank you so much for your time, for the value that you've shared. I want to honor you for the impact that you're making in this world through your voice, through your services, through your facilitation and everything that you do, the hearts that you uplift, the mindsets that you transform, and everybody that you are helping maximize their potential. So thank you so much, man. Thanks so much. This means so much to me. And, just being able to connect with you all the way from Greece is a huge, huge deal for me, for my brand, and for anybody who's ever going to watch this video. This is just proof to anybody outside there who's doubting himself or herself. Start with what you have, and you know what? Things will unfold, and you'll make an impact. You'll be the person that you want to be, but just start. And you never know. One day you might be the person connecting us to Obama, having a live session with Obama right now. So start and don't stop, keep on going. Now, before the last question, where can people find you on social media, Mr. Anthony?
Yes, thank you very much. Even before people finding me, let me find you first. I want to really thank you very, very much, Collins. Even the job that you have been doing, I'm really honored to be in your show today. And when we connected, you say, I think we should do a live. And I was expecting, because all the time I have been interviewing people, and I was expecting that I was going to interview you, and then you told me you are going to interview me. I said, oh, wonderful. I'd be glad to do that. So I'm really thankful. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Collins. As we are saying, I have been following also whatever it is that you have been doing, and don't stop doing it. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. Keep improving every single day. Like we are on a constant day improvement. Like I saw in the last video, I saw 2 Collins in one video. That's improvement.
Yeah.
The first time I saw that was in a movie by Eddie Murphy, him acting 2 roles in one movie. So that's an achievement.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So you're doing a great job. Don't stop. Keep doing it. And just as you said, you never know whom you are influencing, whom you are affecting out there. You never know. And this is what I also tell even the people who come to church. You know, there are people who go to church because of whom they are going to church with.
Yes, that is true.
And if you stop going to church, the person who has been following you to church will stop going to church.
Yes, yes.
And he may lose that opportunity to connect with his God. So don't underestimate the point that you're making. Don't underestimate the job that you're doing, whatever you're doing. It may not be as perfect, just as you are saying, but don't stop. Keep on moving, keep on doing. You're doing a great job. So thank you very much for honoring me in this show, viewers, and I am wishing you great success in future. So people can find me on anthonymuiruri.com. That one is, you can find it on the, and we've connected here on the Facebook Live, so people can just click on my name and connect to my Facebook page. Otherwise, to go to Anthony Muiruri, because spelling of Anthony Muiruri could give someone a problem. Click on the poem I have shared on the video, and you'll go straight to my website.
That is good.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And I think even what I'll do, I think I'll post, but I see it's already there. Yeah, it's there, so there's no need of reposting. But I also want to say something else. Guys, please go to his YouTube channel. YouTube channel, watch the videos, and the best part is, it has over, I think I wrote them down. Your YouTube videos have been viewed over 886,389 times. So,
yeah.
Mr. Anthony did not just start making videos yesterday. He made videos like from way back. Go to his YouTube. Look at the videos, man. You understand that it's all a matter of working the process, getting better, and that's the way you improve. That's the way you maximize your potential. Okay. Now, before we close, if you want to connect with me on Instagram, it's Collins_EU. That's the same thing on Twitter. Like my page, Collins Elevates Africa. If you want me to come and speak to your students, your organization, things around mindset transformation and helping them, work smarter, believe in themselves, and achieve their goals, connect with me. Okay. Now, as we close, I want you to tell me, what is your script for living an elevated lifestyle?
What is
your script, or what can you tell us? What is the meaning of living an elevated lifestyle to you? Like somebody who's living an elevated lifestyle, how do they live?
To me, I will sum that one, and I'll say, as I told you, I'm a Christian, and I believe that everything belongs to God. Everything that happens is all due to God and how He set it. And so I give my life to Christ, and I ask Him to take control over everything. So whatever opportunity that is provided, if I may take it, it's not by my strength. If I may achieve to touch someone's life, it's not by my strength, it's by the strength of my Creator who's given me that ability. And it's only by His grace. I can't boast and I can't say because I have done this and that and that. Yes, we must attempt, we must do, we must push on in life, but it's only God who knows your tomorrow. And it's good for someone to give his life God, the full control of his life or her life.
Nice.
That will elevate you to heights that no man can take you.
Amen. Man, thank you so much. I really enjoyed this session. I feel like I should just be doing lives each and every Thursday. Just have a conversation and talk and connect, offer value. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you, Mr. Anthony, again. Till next Thursday. If you enjoyed this video and you know somebody who has value that I can interview, please connect me with them. DM me right now, like right now. DM me right now, okay? So that we can do these live sessions, spread our brands, connect, network, and offer you guys value. Other that, people, remember to love your life, live fully, and create a legacy. It's your boy, Collins Odhiambo, and out.